Hey guys, it's Shelby, otherwise known as Shelbizleee here on YouTube, and it is that time of year where I am forced to talk about consumerism, but not just consumerism, rampant consumerism. I always feel like I have a unique perspective on this because I have gone from being a seriously hyper consumer, someone who bought everything I ever wanted and just had no reservations about doing so, to someone who now thinks through every purchase I make very, very extensively and is obviously a promoter of minimalism and conscious consumerism. When I was as young as probably 9 or 10, I was so excited about the idea of Black Friday. I would go to sleep and be so excited to wake up at 3 a.m. to go stand in a line outside in the cold at Foley's, not Macy's, who remembers that, to get one of those cheap little snow globes because they used to hand out little freebies back then, go grab a couple sweaters or whatever for my family members because I honestly didn't even have my own money back then, obviously, but I was still addicted to shopping. I did choose the word addicted purposefully because as human history has evolved, we've moved from having just necessities and only things we could afford and really only things that we needed to get by to moving into luxuries like having more than one pair of underwear or perhaps a face towel in your bathroom. In the beginning, that's what consumerism was. Fast forward to today where we consider consumerism as being able to buy whatever we want, whenever we want, whether we need it or not, and it's actually become something that we're willing to go into debt for. The average American has over $15,000 in credit card debt, which gives me anxiety in and of itself. But I chose the word addiction because it has actually been shown, again, throughout research in consumerism, that the same thing that happens in your brain, the same levels of dopamine that come into your brain whenever you purchase something new, is very similar to other dependencies like alcoholism and drugs. And just walking in the store has been shown to be a catalyst for that feedback loop of let me buy something for that temporary moment of happiness just to have a budget hangover later on, feel bad about it, and what makes me happy when I feel bad? Buying something new. It is an endless cycle that has been promoted and honestly socially acceptable and almost socially touted. It's almost praised to have so many items. You get so much clout, so much recognition. You are seen as socially superior when you have more items or even more expensive items. But this time of year is the epitome of that. I'm not even gonna say we are going into the consumeristic peak of the year. We are already there, and I want you to be prepared as we go into the holiday season of just how manipulative these companies can be and where they're targeting you. These large businesses, the big businesses that you think of when you open the newspaper on Thursday morning at Thanksgiving and you go through all those sales ads, the ones that want you to come into the store for those 1 or 2 deals that they're promoting to get you into the store, but then they're counting on you continuously shopping and saving all this money because you're in the holiday spirit. There are 2 dirty tactics in marketing that are used on a normal basis, but on Black Friday is the peak of when they're taking advantage of these and you. First one is making you think that you're going to be missing out, creating that FOMO effect. This is also known in marketing as loss aversion. They tell you this is the biggest and best sale of the year. You're gonna miss out if you don't go out and purchase this on Black Friday. The price is never going to be this low, and if you don't purchase it now, it's your loss and you are just going to be missing out, and everybody else is going to get that good deal. Everybody else is going to get that new tech item, that new sweater, and you are going to be missing out. That's the first tactic that these large corporations are going to be employing to trigger that thing in your brain to make you think that you have to go out and purchase something. But if you're aware of it ahead of time, perhaps you can avoid being tricked by them. This next tactic is something that a lot of stores do on a regular basis, and exactly why my mother is addicted to shopping at Kohl's. This tactic is showing you a larger price first and the lower price second, making you think that you are saving so much money on this item when in reality you're just paying what the item was meant to be sold for. They put the higher price out there for you to see to make you think, oh, I couldn't really buy that, but this tactic in marketing is called anchoring. You see that price and you think, I couldn't really pay that, but then once you see the sale price, it anchors you in and makes you think, oh, but I could afford that. Again, Black Friday is the epitome of this tactic, and it's very important to be aware of it when you're going into the holiday season and this peak time in consumerism. Target CEO has actually already admitted to the tactics that they use to get people to buy more things, and has actually said that he is sad when he sees people with just one thing in their cart, knowing that they came there and got just what they came for. These practices, while obviously predatory and maybe questionably unethical, are also completely legal. They are preying on what happens in your brain when you purchase purchase something new to make them more money and put you further into debt. And I want to be the person to tell you, you have control of this and we can stop it. I already mentioned how purchasing more things and owning more things makes you more socially cool, makes you higher up the socioeconomic ladder, and is perceived in our society as being a better person. But there are so many things that go beyond when you're purchasing something that are not good or fun or happy that we should take into consideration, like people and the planet. Because honestly, none of the things that are happening during these sales are things that we actually need. So I avoid Target at almost all costs. They have been exposed and completely admitted to trying all sorts of different marketing tactics to get you walking in to buy one thing, like I said, and purchasing several more. But we can use this Target effect as an example right now because there are going to be a ton of cute chunky sweaters on sale this Black Friday. But let me explain to you why you shouldn't purchase one, or why you shouldn't purchase one if you didn't previously intend and know that it is something that you will use long term. And that's because there is a huge environmental footprint that you don't see before that item even made it into Target. So let's go with the sweater, and let's say that it's made of cotton. Cotton starts its life cycle journey here, as a seed. Obviously that seed has to be given nutrients and water, and those nutrients a lot of times are not naturally occurring from the soil because we've depleted much of our soil in the US of all of its nutrients, so we are taking nutrients from somewhere else and dumping them onto that crop to make it grow. We have to do that for an extended period of time until that little seed becomes a full-grown cotton plant, and then you have to harvest it, right, which is taking greenhouse gases. We are consuming at such a high rate that there's absolutely no way that farming cotton could be done without industrial technology. So obviously it takes energy and emits greenhouse gases to harvest all of that cotton. Once that cotton is harvested with greenhouse gases, it is shipped emitting even more greenhouse gases where it will become a cotton thread. That process takes a lot of energy, a lot of other inputs to take a little ball of cotton and produce a length of thread. After that cotton has become a thread, it has to be shipped to where it will be turned into an actual t-shirt where people, of course, as we know, are not paid fair wages most of the time. Then that cotton is likely shipped somewhere else to be dyed or screen printed or something like that. It's shipped again to the consumer where you buy it, where you pay for it at such a low cost. Maybe it's on sale for Black Friday. You wear it for, research shows, less than 7 times, and then it gets thrown away. But what really is away? There's no away on this planet. We live on a finite planet. So either it gets buried in a hole in the ground or it ends up in the ocean. Neither of those sound like a positive thing to me. But inevitably, all those inputs that went into that resource are something we could avoid by not purchasing things that we don't need and we will not use long term. So this Black Friday, I ask you to join me. I ask you to join me in boycotting Black Friday, in boycotting Gray Thursday, in stopping yourself from being so thankful on Thursday of Thanksgiving for what you already have and turning around and going and buying more things that you absolutely don't need for a temporary moment of happiness. There are plenty of sustainable and ethical companies out there who are doing Black Friday differently, who are encouraging you to, instead of going shopping, go out and pick up trash off of the beaches, who are offering discounts on sustainably and ethically made products, and even companies who are closing their doors on this holiday to allow people to spend time with their families, which is what the holiday should really be about. I know none of these ideas are super new and groundbreaking, but I think that they're important to talk about during this time of year because everyone can get caught up in the holiday spirit and buy things that they don't need, but it's really important to keep in mind that there's no value in that. There is no true value in buying things that you don't need to tout them off to other people to get their approval. Be done with societal expectations and become a conscious consumer. I'm going to link my blog post with the low impact movement below of companies who are doing Black Friday right, who are celebrating it correctly and sustainably, so I hope you'll check them out, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. Please share this message with your friends and family and let me know in the comments how they react to it or how you navigate those relationships with your friends and family who do want to peer pressure you into going shopping on Thursday or Friday and you're deciding to say absolutely not. Remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye guys.